Today's video is brought to you by .tech domains, who make it not only simple but affordable to get a domain that encapsulates your brand, such as a Twitch channel or a website to showcase your PC mods. And right now with their Black Friday sale, domains are 95% off, and you can get an extra 10% off just by heading over to go.tech/Joker or by using my link down in the description below. Hey, what's up guys? Joker here. I hope all of you had a great Thanksgiving yesterday, because today is Black Friday, which is the day that you spend all of your money, get yelled at by your girlfriend, and then cry yourself to sleep eating leftover mashed potatoes, gravy, and stuffing off of a piece of Hawaiian roll. But that's okay, because we also get some good deals on PC components, so that is what we're going to be doing here in today's video. I'm going to be taking you through some of the best Black Friday deals that I was able to find on websites like Amazon and Newegg for all of you PC gamers and builders out there. So we're not going to waste any time. We're going to get fired right into it, and also towards the end of the video, we're going to have a bunch of graphics cards, some really nice ones to go over as well. But we're going to start off at the same place I did in my pre-Black Friday video, which is with storage, because there are some really good SSD prices right now, and I'm starting with those because the same reason in that video is because most of you probably already have systems built, but we can all always use a little bit more storage, and contrary to popular belief, you cannot download more storage or RAM. It's nowhere to be found. I've looked, even on the torrent websites, news groups, you cannot download more RAM. Would you believe it? As I said, though, we're not going to waste time. So, Samsung 860 EVO, great SSD, 1 terabyte drive for $127. Absolutely insane. And also, before we go any further, I want to let you know that if you are interested in checking everything out, I'm going to have links down in the description below to everything that we're going over here in this video. So definitely be sure to hit those up over to Amazon, Newegg, wherever. You can go ahead and peruse those at your leisure right now. You can sort of virtually skip ahead if you were to peruse the description at this current point in time and know what's going to be coming up in the future before I even know what's going to happen when we get there. So, as I said, Samsung 860 EVO 2.5-inch drive, really solid drive. I've used these many systems. SSD prices are coming down, and seeing these for under $130 is pretty damn remarkable for 1 terabyte of storage. Pick one of these up, throw all your games on it, do an OS if it's a new system build. There are some M.2 drives as well. Now, if you want to go for the faster route, and I would really only advise this if you're planning to use it for your operating system or something. It's really not going to give you that much benefit for games over a SATA SSD. I mean, they're still going to be fast, but versus a SATA SSD, you're not going to see that much of a difference. But for an operating system like a new system build or just a clean install of Windows, they've got some NVMe M.2 drives like this Western Digital Black 500 gigabyte for $100, which is really good for an NVMe drive. They do have a 1 terabyte version for $260, which is a fair bit pricier than the 500 gigabyte version, but 500 gigs would be perfect size for your operating system and maybe some other programs and things like that, or if you wanted to use it as like a scratch disk, if you were doing video editing or anything, you could have some files on there and things like that. So for operating system, I think this could be the way to go if you've got a little bit extra in your budget for an NVMe drive, but otherwise, a SATA drive, M.2 or otherwise, is going to be absolutely fine. There are definitely some M.2 drives like the Western Digital Blues on sale as well. I'll link one of those down below. I don't have one up here, but I will link to it down below. Next up, we've got my buddy Tyler over at MayflowerElectronics.com. His website is actually running a site-wide sale on pretty much everything that they have over there on a lot of their DAC headphone and amplifiers, which I use here in the studio. I use the Objective 2 DAC, which is right here, which you can see is on sale for $200, down from $250. I use that at my main setup. At my editing setup, I use the Mayflower Arc, which is a bit more gaming oriented because it actually has a microphone input, which is nice. If you want the microphone input, to run off of a headset or something like that, then I would say the Arc is definitely the way to go. That's also on sale for $200, but if you just want to run headphones, the Objective 2 ODAC is what I use at my main setup just to run my Fostech headphones, which are also on sale over there, which I have right over here. These are them. These are Fostech's T50RP Mark IIIs that are modified by Mayflower. They go ahead and do a lot of work on the internals on these. They go ahead and swap out the basic ear cups. The basic ear cups on the Fostech's Mark III are awful. They're like pancakes. So they go ahead and they swapped them out and put these guys on there. The ones they have on the website right now, the version 1s are a little bit different than these ear cups, but those are also very nice. I have had a chance to use both of them, and they're both really good headphones. These are the version 3s that I'm using, by the way. They're a little bit more bass heavy than the version 1s, but I really like them. So you can't go wrong with either one of them, honestly, and those are on sale as well for $245. So a little bit of a deal there on that stuff. Be sure to hit up Mayflower down in the description below if you want to check out any of the deals they're running on their website. Shooting back over to Amazon, we've got a few monitors I want to go over. This one is probably the best deal that I've seen on a monitor today. This is $269 for a Dell 4K monitor. It's a 28-inch. It's the S2817Q. This is not a monitor that I have personally used, but it is decently well reviewed, and you can't argue with the price, really selling for $269, down from $600, which is what it was originally selling at. So that's a really good price. Now, it's not FreeSync or anything like that, and it is a TN panel, but if you need a 28-inch 4K monitor, then this could be the way to go for you, at least to get your foot in the door on that. If you do want FreeSync, if that's more important to you, the BenQ EL2870U is on sale for $360, so it's more expensive than the Dell monitor, but it does have FreeSync, and it also does have HDR. Now, it's not full 1000 nit peak brightness HDR. The HDR on it was not very good. I know because I've actually used one. I reviewed one here on the channel. If you want to go back and check it out, I'll put a card up here somewhere so you can go back and watch that review. But this is a monitor I've tested. I've actually got the 32-inch monitor here as well, which I'm going to be reviewing soon. This is $360, and as I said, it's very similar to the Dell TN. It still just has tilt functionality on the stand. Neither one of them have height adjust. This one is also VESA compatible, while the Dell is not VESA compatible, and this one has FreeSync. So if those things are important to you, then this might be the better buy for you if you got more in the budget for a 28-inch 4K monitor. Another 4K monitor here. A lot of 4K monitors on sale today. This is another one that I've used. This one is, again, going up in price a bit. This is the Acer Predator XB271HK. This is going to be a fair bit better than those other monitors because it has everything that they were kind of lacking. So, first off, this one is G-Sync. It is 27 inches, so it's an inch smaller, but it's still 4K, 60 hertz. It has tilt, pivot, swivel, height adjust, all of that stuff that you would want from a modern monitor stand. And yeah, as I said, G-Sync for $490, which is actually a pretty good price for this display. Again, this is something that I have used and tested, and I found it to be very good, and it's IPS, so definitely going to have better colors, better viewing angles compared to the TN panels on the previous two monitors we looked at. Now, if you have an insane budget for a monitor, you really can't go wrong with the Acer Predator X27, which is $1,700, which sounds like a lot. It's because it is a lot, but it's on sale from $2,000, and these things just came out. These are the latest and greatest. I have one of these here in the studio that I did feature in a video where I benchmarked it with the 2080 Ti. These things, 27-inch, 4K, G-Sync, 120 hertz. I mean, technically they're 144 hertz, but they don't really work right at 144 hertz over DisplayPort 1.4, so that's why I say 120 hertz, because it's really what they are. These do have legit HDR with 1000 nit peak brightness. So this is pretty much, as far as right now is concerned, for a 16:9 display, these are the duck's nuts of gaming monitors. And if you were planning on buying one for $2,000, for $1,700, I guess, you know, for someone that was in that market anyway, I guess that's a pretty good deal. But for most of us mere mortals, probably not going to be in the budget. So let's get back to reality, shall we? EVGA Supernova 750 watt G3 power supply. The EVGA uses super flowers, some of the best power supplies you can get from an OEM, and they use them in all their PSUs. The 750 watt G3, 80 plus gold rated, fully modular, selling for $60. If you're doing a system build, this could definitely be the way to go, as a 750 watt could very likely power pretty much anything that you can throw at it, unless you're doing like some obscene SLI or Crossfire system that is not very power efficient. But for pretty much any single GPU system, 750 watt is going to be absolutely fine. And they do have bigger ones as well if you wanted to go that route. Another EVGA power supply, 650 watt. This is the G1 Plus. Again, 80 plus gold rated. This is over on Newegg for $50. So another good deal here with the EVGA PSUs. And I try to use their PSUs in most of my personal system builds, unless, you know, I'm sending one by a sponsor or something like that, because EVGA power supplies are just They're very, very good. I cannot speak highly enough about their power supplies if you need one for a system. Back to what I was saying before about not being able to download more RAM. You cannot download more RAM, so if you need more RAM, you should buy some. And this is a kit that I mentioned in my pre-Black Friday video. 16 gigabyte kit, 3000 megahertz, really going to be good enough for whether it's an Intel or an AMD system. AMD Ryzen obviously is heavily reliant on RAM speed, and you can get faster RAM than this. But 3000 is going to be a pretty decent speed for even an AMD Ryzen system. And this is low-profile Corsair Vengeance, very reliable. If you want to get a tower heatsink or something like that, it should not have any problems fitting underneath a tower heatsink, even like one of the really big Noctua or Be Quiet ones. And I've used these in countless numbers of systems now. So very good recommendation for me on the Corsair Vengeance LPX. If you do need some more RAM, or if you're building a new system for the holidays, then you can't go you really can't go wrong with it. All right, next up, we've got a bunch of graphics cards. So we're going to start off on Amazon, and then we've also got some over on Newegg as well. So this is the RX Vega 56. This is selling for $340. Now, it is a blower-style card, so it's going to run a little bit warmer than an aftermarket one, obviously, but still a very good and capable card, even if it is going to be a little bit louder and a little bit hotter. And Vega 56 is a very powerful GPU still, and definitely a better deal than what we're seeing with some of the NVIDIA cards. And this is on par with with a GTX 1070, a little bit faster than the GTX 1070, just a smidge. So yeah, this is definitely a pretty good buy here on Vega 56. We've also got a Vega 64. This is an aftermarket card. This is an Asus ROG Strix, and this is about $130, $140 more than the Vega 56, but it's going to be a decent bit faster. This is going to compete with the likes of the GTX 1080 and RTX 2070, and this is going for $475, and you've got a triple fan heatsink on there, so that, even though, because Vega 64 can run pretty hot, but this would be more than capable of being able to cool RX Vega 64. I speak from having a triple fan heatsink on a Vega 64 card, the Sapphire Nitro Plus. So I'm sure the ROG Strix cooler will be more than fine for your needs there. We do have another Vega 64, which is cheaper. This one is $400 over on Newegg. Obviously, the first one was $475 for the aftermarket, but over on Newegg, they have the Sapphire reference model. This is just a reference model Vega 64 card for $400, but it does come with 3 free games, which is pretty damn awesome. Those 3 free games are Devil May Cry 5, Resident Evil 2, and The Division 2. Those are the 3 games that it comes with. That's pretty much all of the cards right now over on Newegg for AMD cards. Their RX, pretty much all their RX cards are being bundled with either 2 or 3 free games, depending on how high the card is. The little bit more expensive cards are coming with 3 games. Some of the cheaper, older cards are coming with 2 games, and they're all coming from that same bundle I mentioned with those 3 games I just said there. So $400 for a Vega 64, that's a really good price, especially considering like 5 months ago, these things were like selling for over $1,000 on eBay for cryptocurrency miners. So if you're waiting to get a Vega 64, this is a pretty good one. And the cooler on this is definitely hot. It's definitely loud, but the card will still run really well within spec, and it'll be fine enough. We've also got a 1070 Ti over there on sale for $389, so a little bit cheaper than the Vega 64, although honestly, I would go with the Vega 64 here for the simple fact that it's only $10 more. It's going to be a little bit faster than the 1070 Ti, and you get those 3 free games with it, whereas the 1070 Ti here, the Asus one, it's only coming with 1 game, Monster Hunter World, which personally is a game I have no interest in. Maybe you do. I personally don't. I'd rather have the other 3 games that are included along with the AMD card. But the 1070 Ti, just in and of itself, if you wanted to get an NVIDIA card for under $400, you can't go wrong with the card here, obviously. I just like the bundle better when it comes to the AMD card, and Vega 64 is going to be faster than a 1070 Ti, and it's only $10 more, so that's why I would personally lean towards that one. We've also got another AMD card here, the RX 570. This is a 4 gigabyte card for $160, so that's not bad at all. And you do get 2 free games with this one as well. And they do have a $20 off promo code here if you go ahead and punch that in at checkout. So you get an additional $20 off of the 160, which is very nice. And remember the 3 games I mentioned earlier? With this card, you get to choose 2 of them. So it's between, again, Devil May Cry 5, Resident Evil 2, or The Division 2. You could pick 2 of those games. Personally, I think I'd go with Devil May Cry 5 and the Division 2 if I was making the choice there. The Division 2 should be pretty darn good. I like the first one quite a lot. So RX 570 for $160, a little bit more budget-oriented than some of the other cards we were looking at here. And last but certainly not least, again, a 2 free game bundle with this, the Gigabyte RX 580 selling for $200, and this is an 8 gigabyte RX 580, so if you want the additional video memory, then this is definitely the way to go. If you are on a budget of around $200, very good deal here. They just had the RX 590s coming out, but those are selling for around $280, and they're like around 5 to 7% faster, roughly, in games. I've done a review. I've done benchmark videos comparing these cards, the 590, the 580, and the 1060, if you want to go back and check those out. But $200 for an RX 580 is a good price. I would definitely, if it was between getting this for $200 or the 590 for $280, if I'm on a budget, I would definitely save the money and go for the RX 580. I guess if you get the 590, you get 3 free games. So if you wanted all 3 games for free, then I guess that could definitely make up for the, the $80 price increase from the 580 to the 590. But that's going to be a little bit, depending on a case-by-case basis and whether or not you really want those 3 games that I went ahead and mentioned there. So that is going to wrap it up, though. That's all of the Black Friday deals that I have for you this year. We'll be back again for Cyber Monday. Hopefully we get some different and more varied deals here than what we're seeing here today. But still a lot of good deals here. Power supplies, monitors, graphics cards, RAM, storage, everything really. So be sure to check out the links again down in the description below. Leave a comment as well if you're picking up something. If you heard about a deal here that maybe you didn't know otherwise and you decided to pick something up, let me know down in the comments below, or just say happy Thanksgiving, happy holidays, whatever you celebrate. Leave it down in the comments below. I look forward to the discussion as always. I'm going to get out of here though and probably go do some Black Friday shopping. Unfortunately, this is the life of having a fiance and living with her. So I don't get to just sit home on Black Friday and shop on Newegg, which is what I would personally probably do, or Amazon. But now I have to get dragged out of the house to the outlets and go walk around stores with like a mob of people, which I just am not looking forward to. But I'm going to do it. So yeah, all you other guys out there in relationships, I'm sure you know my struggle as well. But hopefully this video was a little bit of a silver lining in your day and you found a good tech deal. But I'm going to go edit this video and throw it up, and you'll be seeing it very soon. Obviously, you're seeing this now, so this has already happened. It's in the past, man. Like Back to the Future, Doc Brown style. All right? Go eat some turkey and stuffing. Peace. That's right.